So we left off here looking at the domain and range. And now we're going to move on to a real world problem. And we're going to explore a little bit on your calculator with this. So make sure that you have your calculator accessible and ready to go. A souvenir shop sells about 200 mugs each month for $6 each. The shop owner estimates that for each 50-cent increase in the price, he'll sell about 10 fewer coffee mugs. So that kind of makes sense. The more the price goes up, the less people are going to buy it. But the more that you raise the price, the more money you're going to make per cup. So we need to figure out how far can you raise the price and it will still work out okay. So if we think about how he's figuring out his profit right now, it would be 200 times $6. But now we want to change that. We figure that if we raise the $6 by 50 cents, the 200 will drop by 10. So the 200 will decrease by 10 for every increment. So X is representing the increments that we are increasing it by. And 6 will go up by 50 cents for every increment that we are choosing to do. Okay, so if we want to make a graph of this, it might be helpful to see it in the ax squared plus bx plus c form. And to do so, we would need to FOIL this. So FOIL again, first, outer, inner, and last. So the first two is 1200. Outside is 100x. Inside is negative 60x. And last two, negative 5x squared. Okay, I'm going to rewrite that though in descending order, minus 5x squared. And I'm going to combine those two terms together to make plus 40x plus 1200. So this equation should help represent the situation so we know how much we should sell the coffee for. All right, let's take this and put it into our calculator. So pull out your calculators and type in the equation. Okay, once you have your equation in, then we can just hit graph and see if we get anything. Generally with real world problems though, we're going to have to set our window. So yep, nothing showed up. So what we're going to try then is let's see if our zoom options will work. One zoom option that might work, I was on the standard window, so that's not going to work, would be zoom fit. That's one to try. It might work, or it might just give you a good starting point. Okay, we can definitely see more of our graph right now, but it does not look like a good graph yet. It's a starting point. So if we look at this, we would like to see this graph continue down a little bit more. And it doesn't look like this is our x-axis down here. So we need to drop this down a little bit further. All right, so let's go to our window. And we don't really need any x minimums. We're not going to do negative increments. And it looked like we needed to go a little more, so maybe 30. Okay, yep, as I suspected, the y minimum was not at 0. So let's put that down to 0. And that's just a really bad number, so I'm going to change that to 1300. Let's see if that gets us a better graph. Yes, that looks like a really nice graph now. Now, what we're looking for is to maximize our sales. So we're looking for this maximum point at the top of our graph. Well, our calculator can find that for us in the calculate section. So if you go second, trace, go to calculate menu. What we've done in the past is the intersection, but now we're going to be looking for the maximum. So choose number 4. Now we got to look at the directions. It says left bound. So that means you go to the left of the maximum point. So my cursor's in the center now, so I need to go over to the left until I reach just beyond it. And I don't need to go far beyond it, just a little bit beyond it. Okay, so I'm up there now. I'm going to just press enter then. Now it says right bound, so I need to go to the right of the maximum. Again, I don't need to go far to the right, just so that I'm to the right of it a little bit. and press enter. And then guess. Put your cursor where you think the maximum is. And it tells us our maximum. And again, your calculator is doing its best job that it can to estimate from the pixels. So that's why it's off just a little bit. But the maximum really is at 4, 1280. So what this tells us is that we should raise the price by 4 increments, and we will end up having an income of $12.80. So what would the price be set at if we did 4 50-cent increments onto it? Well, that would be like adding another $2 onto it. So the total price would be $8 per cup of coffee is what we would like to charge. So what I did was 6 plus 0.5 times 4, and that's how I got the 8. So then the next question asks, what is the maximum monthly income that they can expect? Well, that was our Y value, which was $12.80. All right, so we need to copy down what were the steps that we did to find the max and the minimum, or max or a minimum. So let's write down the keystrokes that you typed in. And so our keystrokes were y equals, type in the equation, then you press graph, change the window, and then go back to graph again. Then we need to choose second trace and 3. We'll have to press the over key to get over to the left side of it and press enter. Then press the right arrow key to get over to the right of it and press enter. Then we got to go back left again to get to our maximum point and press enter again. And that's how we can do that on our calculator. All right, make sure that you write your questions and summaries, and let me know if you have any questions when you get to class.